Ladies, I need to tell you something that could change the way you eat forever. Yogurt, yes, the healthy, creamy snack we've been told to trust for gut health, can actually become dangerous when combined with certain everyday foods. I'm not talking about rare ingredients you've never heard of. I mean things we all have in our fridge right now. Doctors are raising the alarm, and by the time you finish this video, you'll know exactly which 3 food combinations silently destroy your gut from the inside out. So don't click away. Especially if you're over 60, your digestive system becomes more vulnerable with age, and these mistakes could be the reason for your bloating, fatigue, or even worse health issues. Like, comment with gut check if you're ready to learn something that could protect your health. And make sure to subscribe for more senior smart wellness tips. Now, let's get into it. Part 1. The myth of yogurt. You know, I used to swear by yogurt. For years, it was part of my daily routine, whether it was a small bowl at breakfast, a mid-morning snack, or a little dollop alongside dinner. It felt like the one safe food I could always rely on. Low-calorie, full of calcium, rich in probiotics. What could possibly go wrong? Well, more than I thought. You see, most of us have been told that yogurt is practically a miracle food, especially for women our age. And in many ways, it can be. It's true that yogurt can help with digestion, bone strength, and even mood, if it's used correctly. But here's where things get tricky. No one ever warned us about what happens when yogurt gets mixed with the wrong foods. This is where the silent damage begins. And for women over 60, our bodies just don't respond the same way they did when we were 25. Our digestive enzymes have slowed down. Our gut microbiome is more delicate. Our tolerance for inflammation is lower. So something as seemingly harmless as mixing yogurt with the wrong ingredient can create a ripple effect that leaves us feeling tired, bloated, foggy-headed, and just off. Now here's the kicker. The same probiotics in yogurt, the very ones that are supposed to help balance our gut, are alive. They're living organisms, which means they can be harmed or even killed when exposed to certain other foods or chemicals. It's kind of like trying to plant flowers in toxic soil. They just won't survive. This was a wake-up call for me. So, if you've been feeling like your healthy eating habits aren't working the way they should, if you're gaining weight despite eating less, or feeling more bloated and uncomfortable after meals, it might not be your imagination. It could be that your gut is under attack from combinations that were never meant to happen inside your body, and that brings us to the first dangerous pairing, one that I guarantee is hiding in thousands of fridges right now. Part 2. Yogurt and fruit, a dangerous duo now. This one shocked me. I mean, who hasn't enjoyed a yogurt parfait with a handful of berries or a splash of citrus? The commercials practically tell us it's the breakfast of champions. It looks colorful, it tastes refreshing, and it feels healthy. But the truth is, certain fruits and yogurt do not get along well inside your gut. Let me explain. Yogurt contains lactic acid, and many fruits, especially citrus or tangy ones, contain citric acid or other organic acids. When you mix the two, particularly in a digestive system that's already more sensitive due to age, you can cause something called gut fermentation. Sounds gross, doesn't it? That's because it is. Your stomach becomes like a tiny chemical lab, acids reacting, probiotics dying, and gases forming. And the result? Bloating, burping, sluggish digestion, and sometimes even abdominal pain that you can't quite explain. This reaction can also throw off the pH balance of your gut, making it harder for the good bacteria in yogurt to survive. So instead of helping your microbiome, you're actually disrupting it. Even worse, many of us reach for flavored yogurts that already contain fruit inside them, usually with added sugars, preservatives, or natural flavors, which are anything but natural. So we're not just dealing with an acidic fruit and dairy mix. We're loading that combo with sugar and chemicals, and then wondering why our stomach feels like it's at war with itself. Here are a few fruits that are the worst offenders when paired with yogurt. Oranges and mandarins, pineapple, strawberries, kiwis, grapefruit, sour apples now, not all fruits are off the table. Bananas, for instance, are a more neutral choice. But even then, moderation is key. The safest thing to do? Eat fruit and yogurt at separate times. Give your body a couple of hours between the two, and you'll notice a difference in how light and balanced you feel afterward. And don't worry, you can still enjoy the beautiful flavors and colors of a good breakfast. Try adding a sprinkle of cinnamon, a few soaked nuts, or even some rolled oats to your yogurt instead. You get crunch, satisfaction, and digestion that actually works in your favor. Let's move on to the next dangerous mix, one that shows up more often than you think, especially in homemade meals and dinner party recipes. Part 3. Yogurt and meat, the inflammatory combo you didn't see coming now. This really hit home for me. For years, one of my favorite meals was grilled chicken marinated in yogurt, garlic, and lemon juice. It's a popular recipe from Mediterranean and Middle Eastern kitchens. I mean, we've all seen it. Tender meats, soaked in creamy sauces, rich dishes that blend dairy with protein, often served with rice or bread. But here's what most people don't realize. Combining animal protein and dairy, especially yogurt, can be extremely taxing on our digestive system, and even worse as we age. Why? Because meat and yogurt digest at very different speeds. Meat, especially red meat or dense poultry, takes longer to break down in the stomach. It requires strong acids and plenty of time. Yogurt, on the other hand, digests faster and contains bacteria that operate in a different pH range. When the two are eaten together, your stomach basically becomes confused. It tries to process both at once, but it can't do so effectively. The result? Incomplete digestion, fermentation, and eventually, toxic buildup. This leads to what Ayurvedic medicine calls ama. It's a kind of internal sludge, undigested food residue that sticks around, causes inflammation, messes with your metabolism, and even seeps into your joints or skin. You might notice this showing up as constipation, joint pain, skin rashes or puffiness, persistent bloating. Brain fog Western medicine is catching up to this idea too. Some studies now suggest that calcium in yogurt may interfere with iron absorption from meat, especially red meat. And as older women, we're already more vulnerable to iron deficiency and fatigue. Why make things worse by combining two things that work against each other in the gut? And here's something else. Yogurt is cooling by nature, while meat, especially red meat, is heating. When you combine cooling and heating foods together, your body has to work extra hard to maintain balance, leading to digestive distress and inflammation. So what can you do? If you're cooking meat, try marinating it in lemon juice, olive oil, or herbs instead of yogurt. And if you love yogurt, enjoy it separately as a snack or light meal, perhaps with some chia seeds or flax for protein. Don't let it battle it out with your dinner. This is one of those changes that seems small, but it made a big difference in my energy, my digestion, and even how I slept at night. Part 4. Yogurt and artificial sweeteners, the gut destroying. Trap hidden in healthy foods. Let's have an honest moment here. We've all been tempted by the word light or sugar-free on a label, especially when we're trying to eat a little healthier or manage our weight. And yogurt is one of the biggest culprits when it comes to sneaky marketing. You've probably seen them in the store. Those tiny containers that promise just 90 calories, no added sugar, and a sweet flavor like strawberry cheesecake or vanilla caramel swirl. Sounds like a dream, right? But here's the dark truth. Many of these diet-friendly yogurts are loaded with artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, Splenda, saccharin, or acesulfame potassium. And those sweeteners may be doing more harm to your gut than actual sugar ever would. Now I used to think, well, at least it's not real sugar, right? I was trying to be smart to avoid that blood sugar spike. But artificial sweeteners have a very different kind of effect, and it's one that especially impacts older women like us. You see, your gut is home to trillions of bacteria, some good, some bad. The good bacteria help you digest food, absorb nutrients, and even balance your mood and immune system. But studies now show that artificial sweeteners can alter the composition of your gut microbiome. They feed the wrong bacteria, throw off the balance, and actually lead to glucose intolerance, weight gain, and increased cravings, even though they have no calories. Let that sink in. We're eating sugar-free yogurt to avoid gaining weight, but we're feeding bad bacteria that cause weight gain and fatigue anyway. What a betrayal. And it gets worse. Some artificial sweeteners act as gut irritants, triggering bloating, gas, and discomfort that can feel like food poisoning or IBS. I know women who went to multiple doctors thinking they had food sensitivities or even early signs of Crohn's disease, only to find out they'd been eating 3 little tubs of sugar-free yogurt a day, all laced with sucralose. Even natural-sounding sweeteners like erythritol or sugar alcohols can cause problems. These can ferment in your intestines, causing distress, especially if your gut lining is already a bit worn down from years of processed foods, medications, or stress. And let's not forget the neurological effects. Some artificial sweeteners have been linked to anxiety, headaches, dizziness, and even depression. And we wonder why our mood is off after trying to eat clean. So what should you do? If you love yogurt, switch to plain, full-fat Greek yogurt with no sweeteners at all. You can add a touch of raw honey, a pinch of cinnamon, or a few mashed berries if you want a little sweetness, and you'll avoid the chemical cocktail altogether. And always check the label. If it says aspartame, acesulfame potassium, sucralose, or anything ending in O's or ol, put it back on the shelf. Remember, what you don't eat can sometimes protect your health even more than what you do. Part 5. Yogurt and ice-cold temperatures, the slow freezing of your digestion. Now this one doesn't show up on any label, but it's just as important. You know that satisfying feeling of grabbing a cold yogurt straight from the fridge on a hot day? It seems harmless enough, refreshing even. But what most people don't realize is that the temperature of what you eat can affect how well your body digests it, and this matters especially for older adults like you and me. Let me explain. Our digestive systems aren't what they used to be. The enzymes that break down food, the acids in our stomach, and even the peristalsis, the little muscular movements that push food through, have all slowed down just a bit. It's natural, it happens to everyone. But what we put into our body can either help it along or slow it down even more. When we eat ice-cold foods, like refrigerated yogurt straight from the fridge, or worse, frozen yogurt from the freezer, we actually shock the digestive system. Think of it like pouring ice water over a simmering pot. Everything slows, seizes, and stalls. Cold food contracts blood vessels in the stomach and reduces enzyme activity, which means your digestion slows down dramatically. The nutrients in the yogurt don't get absorbed properly, the probiotics become less effective, and instead of energizing your body, that yogurt just sits there, heavy, sluggish, and hard to move along. This can lead to a surprising set of problems: bloating and gas, a heavy feeling in the stomach, poor nutrient absorption, cold hands, and feet. Feeling tired or sleepy after eating, and according to traditional Eastern medicine, especially Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine, cold foods weaken the digestive fire, or what they call Agni. This digestive fire is what keeps our metabolism strong, our energy high, and our food properly processed. When we constantly douse that fire with cold, we weaken it. And over time, this can lead to long-term digestive disorders. And I know what some of you might be thinking, but I've eaten cold yogurt my whole life. Well, so did I. But aging changes the rules. What worked for us at 35 or even 55 may not serve us well at 70. I learned that the hard way. So here's what I do now, and I recommend this to every woman I speak to. Take the yogurt out of the fridge and let it sit for 15-20 minutes before eating. Let it come closer to room temperature. Your body will thank you for it, or better yet, try warming your yogurt slightly and turning it into a spiced lassi or a digestive tonic with a bit of ginger, turmeric, or cinnamon. It's soothing, easy to digest, and you still get all the probiotic benefits without the shock to your system. If you found this helpful, comment gut check below so I know you're taking charge of your health. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join my free Savvy Senior newsletter where I share weekly tips just like these, straight to your inbox. Take care of your gut, and it'll take care of you. See you in the next one.